I usually don't publish a video. Haha. Okay. There we go. All right. So I usually don't publish a video at this time. You know, it's Friday evening as of the time I'm recording this video. As many of my regular viewers know, we usually do a live show. Do a live show every morning at around 7:30, and we just talk until we're tired of talking. By we, I mean me and my co-host Cameron Anderson, who's usually on in the mornings. And I'm doing this one right now to say, guys, thank you. I know, I don't know, but I'm reasonably sure that a bunch of you hopped on and watched the live show thread earlier today because you were actually looking for Rush Limbaugh hosting Donald Trump today. But here's what happened. I found out this morning for the first, I had Cameron here in the studio with me, and we're doing our regular Friday morning Firearms Friday show. And Cameron was in the studio, and he told me that Trump was going to be on the Rush Limbaugh show today. That was news to me. I didn't know. So right there when he said that, I said, okay, to make sure that I'm doing what little I maybe can to kind of get the word out and get earballs on the Limbaugh show with Donald Trump today, I'm going to go live at 11:30, and I did. And I'm just going to spend a half an hour with whoever wants to chime in and ask, and I will find a way for you, wherever you are, to listen to the Rush Limbaugh show. And, for the international people, I had an amazing number of people coming in internationally from the UK and the like, hey, how do I listen to this? Because I was looking people up by state within the US and saying, okay, the Rush Limbaugh show is syndicated and it's on this channel. It's on, I think one of them was 1079 in Kentucky, or I went through a lot of states and a lot of radio channels today. But of course, I also actively referred people to rushlimbaugh.com, WSB.com, just because that's my local affiliate, where we get the Limbaugh show, and the apps. Rush Limbaugh's got an app, and WSB's got an app. I'm actually still not sure if the Rush Limbaugh app is a strictly paid subscription, or if there's a free version of it where you can listen to the live part. But anyway, I referred people to that, and it blew up for me. We do a small show. I usually have a dozen or so people watch live, and 40 or 50 people watch throughout the day after the live show posts as a replay. We do a show from anywhere between roughly about an hour and a half to however long it needs to be. Yesterday's live show was an hour and a half, but today, just out of nowhere, seemingly, I went live at 11:30, and we had 200 concurrent viewers, 200 people watching all at the same time. And of those 200 people, the peak concurrent viewer count, which admittedly, for a YouTube live show, for one that's supposed to be professional, and we do run a professional show here, but I'm an old retired guy. This is more of a hobby than a business. But for a YouTube live stream, 200 people watching is good for the average YouTube channel, but compared to the big boys, the Crowders and the Shapiros and them, that's nothing. That's really nothing. But for us, it's huge. Our subscribership during that half-hour live stream this morning at 11:30 went up by more than 20%, which, amen, guys. If we could do that, if we could do that once a month, I'll stop making wedding and funeral videos and just do this full time. But what has gotten to what's really amazing to me now is, in fact, I'll go ahead and I'll pull up the page and show you the statistics. Is that now here we are, 6 hours later, and right. It's this one right here. Trump radio rally on Limbaugh show, 3,800 views. That's huge. For us, that's huge. I've been very happy with some of our previous videos that went somewhat viral. When Richard Spencer endorsed Joe Biden for president, that video got 740 views. The Ballad of Rayshard Brooks got 551 views. Mashable getting wrecked by Steven Crowder got 394 views. These are the kind of numbers we're usually looking at. Even our short film SpaghettiOs, 284 views. And by the way, if you see this and you have not yet watched SpaghettiOs, go watch SpaghettiOs. It's, in my opinion, and obviously I'm a little biased because I shot and directed and edited the film, but it's a 3-minute short film about being a lawful gun owner in a home invasion situation, and I think it's hilarious. And yes, Cameron is the guy in the mask that gets shot and his chest explodes into a bucket of SpaghettiOs. So we had a blast, right? We're having a blast over here making these videos for you guys. But to get the kind of viewership that we got today off of just an impromptu, like, I honestly did not expect a lot of people to watch the live stream at 11:30. I've got several regular viewers who are my friends from when I was in the military and stuff like that, who are just scattered all over the world. And for them, I figure, okay, I know those guys are subscribed. They'll tune in. There's a reasonable chance that they'll tune in if I go live, and I can at least get the information to those guys. Hey, my buddies that are serving in Afghanistan, or my buddies that are just stationed in, California or Maryland, who aren't here in Georgia, where I know that I could just tell them to turn the radio on to 95.5 FM and listen to it on WSB. So people tuned in. I had one troll ran his mouth a bit. He and I got into it a little bit in the comments section later. Jay, and we've had a little bit of friendly back and forth banter. I might actually bring him on the show sometime, hopefully next week. And by the way, Jay, if you happen to see this video that I'm recording right now, here's the way to do that. Just make sure you pop on at 7:30, between 7:30 and 8 any morning next week. Drop some comments in the live chat section, and we'll figure it out. I'll give you instructions from there on how we can communicate with each other without either of us having to dox ourselves on the air. I'm relatively easy to find. My name's Christopher Lowry. I'm somewhere in Georgia, and I'm a giant. If you go searching for me on the internet, look for the guy that looks like he kicks down houses, and that's probably me. Pick your favorite Hollywood action star. He's made millions of dollars playing me on television. That's what Hollywood guys do for a living, is they pretend to be Christopher Lowry. So, man, I started recording this, and I really just wanted to say thank you to you guys. I was going to talk a little bit about Trump's F-bomb, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off and do another video right now and just talk about Trump's F-bomb, because ha ha ha, woo, it's like a whole new J-Dam, a whole new Moab. Just, bah! It made my day. So I'm going to cut this right here and catch y'all another video. Do make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit those buttons, man. Get these numbers up. Y'all get me up into the 10,000 subscriber range, and I'll just make 5 or 6 or 8 hours of videos every day. Let's do this. We'll see you in a minute, and definitely make sure to check us out Monday morning at 7:30 and every weekday. Okay, so our basic show rundown on Mondays. we don't stick to it 100%, but we try to stick to this general theme. Monday is Meme War Monday. We talk about the culture war. We talk about meme war. We talk about what the hottest memes are. We debunk ridiculous memes. And the meme war is an important conversation to have. The meme war is not just some funny thing that's going on. It's an active psychological warfare campaign of propaganda running from both sides. The right and the left are both engaged in active psychological warfare against one another. And that is a beautiful thing, because in psychological warfare, as much as I enjoy a war, in psych warfare, nobody has to die. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So check that out on Mondays. Taco Tuesdays. So we started off with Taco Tuesday when all the build the wall and the immigration stuff was more of a hot topic, and now we've changed it to just run the pun. It's Taco Tuesday, and we'll taco about whatever the hell we want to. Hopefully after the election and the COVID is over and all that, we'll start talking about getting the immigration situation back under control better. But the truth of the matter is that because of the pandemic, immigration is down right now. And that I may actually just do a video about that in general sometime in the coming days and weeks. Then Wednesday is WTF CNN. Now, sometimes we go ahead and do WTF on some other network because CNN's not the only fake news network that fails constantly. There are a lot of left-wing rags that are just. I mean, it hurts me to see the painful disservice that's done by left-wing rags like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, Fox News, just absolute garbage networks like that. Thursdays, we try to do the Toter Win Thursday. The Toter Win Thursday is based off basically the intellectual premise of a trashy rap song done by, it's not even a rap song, it's a song done by John Ward. It's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen John Ward's Toter War video, I'll drop a link to the original Toter War video. But on Thursdays, we do the Toter War. I run the...
When this guy so much sack, he protect, he attack. This why no more homoerotic rocket ranches. Got it? Got it.
But, normally when we're running the sounder for the Toter Win Thursday, we want something solid like, Donald Trump getting his 4th Nobel Peace Prize nomination. And by the way, for everybody that's keeping track, he's up to 4 now, right? He's been nominated 3 times in the last month for the Nobel Peace Prize, and he has one prior nomination from years ago for the Peace Prize. That's no joke. So, and then on Fridays, we do Firearms Friday, because one of the things we believe in strongly here at the Brushfire Mind, being strict constitutionalists, is the Second Amendment, especially the Second Amendment. There is a good argument to be made that the First Amendment is the First Amendment because the founders believed that the right to free speech and open debate is more important than the Second Amendment. But it is more correct to say that the two are intermingledly. The two are codependently significant because you cannot have one without the other. It's that simple. You look around the world. Gun control is rampant everywhere outside of the United States. It's getting bad here, but it's rampant everywhere outside of the United States. And everywhere outside of the United States, you can be sent to prison for making a joke about a pug that does the Roman salute. So you do not have the First Amendment without the Second Amendment. So on Firearms Friday, we talk about the lawful use of firearms. And we try to do it a little tongue-in-cheek, but, it's dark subject matter, too, because we try to have a DRT, which is a dead right there story, a story where a home invader comes up on a lawfully armed U.S. citizen homeowner and is dispatched by the homeowner as Neil Bortz used to say, he sent him to hell with a sucking gaping chest wound. That's one story in particular that Bortz ran on his show years ago, and I'll never forget hearing that story. It was a young man working at a Blockbuster Video, to give you an idea of how old the story is, and his father would sit in the parking lot for the last hour of the boy's shift. His father would come and sit in the parking lot in his car and read a book and wait for his kid to get off work. So Daddy's sitting in the parking lot reading his book. I like to imagine he was reading Atlas Shrugged at the time, right? Or maybe Brave New World, perhaps Snow Crash. And some thug comes in, 2 thugs come in with guns and try to rob the Blockbuster. Daddy gets out of the car with his own firearm and puts a stop to that shit. That was one of my first exposures as a much younger man to the importance of the armed citizen. So that's our basic daily format. And honestly, on the strength of the show that I did this afternoon at 11:30, next week I'm going to attempt to go live every day at 11:30. So next week's going to be I may not be able to do it every day next week. I do have other obligations, but if I can pull it off, I'm going to try to go live every day next week at 11:30, in addition to the 7:30 morning show, because after what happened this afternoon, I need to see how those numbers shake out. And if I can reach more of you at 11:30 than I can at 7:30, then that just might be the way that I have to start doing this. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. If you are watching this video on Friday night when I published it, then the likelihood is, if you watch the whole thing all the way to right now, you're going to see another video published right after this one, right, by the time you finish watching this one. So thanks for your time, and good night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning.